Hey guys, how you doing? This is Juan with Liberty Graphic Designs, and today we're gonna be doing some applique on this hoodie, so don't go anywhere. Okay, so we're gonna be decorating this hoodie for my son with a Batman logo, but it's gonna have the Autism logo on it, and I'm gonna be walking you through almost the entire thing. I'm not gonna show you the printed part because it's already printed, and I know some of you is gonna ask me, how did you print it? What did you print it with? What kind of printer are you using? What kind of paper? What, all that good stuff. So just so you know, I'm using an Epson 44-inch. So it's an Epson F6370 sublimation printer. The inks are the actual sublimation inks. That's what I'm using. So that's why I'm not going to show you that part, because that part is already done. The paper, however, it's an adhesive paper. This one is done by Texprint. So that's the paper that I'm using right now, Texprint. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting the actual fabric, which is this right here. This is just a piece of scrap fabric from when we do our shirts. And this is 100% polyester. So what I'm going to do to that is I'm going to apply some adhesive stabilizer or backing, however you guys call it. So that's what I'm going to be doing, putting some of this stuff on this just to make it kind of rigid so it doesn't move on me. Because for those of you that work with fabric, just fabric alone, you know how much it stretches. So the stabilizer is actually going to keep it from doing that. So let's go and apply that. That way our garment is nice and stiff. It's better to work with. So that's what we're going to be using. If you guys want to know where you can get some of this stuff, this one you can get it at Joann's or any store that sells fabric. They're gonna sell this. Just make sure you get it as fusible. And what it does on this side, it has adhesive already that's heat activated. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on the heat press for like 5 seconds just to activate the adhesive on it, and that's gonna adhere to the fabric. Because this is gonna be an applique, I don't need it to be adhesive so I can apply it to the jersey or to the hoodie in this case. So I'm just going to put the backing on it, and then it's going to be embroidered. So I'm going to walk you through the entire thing. We're going to be using a lot of quill machines today. So let's go to the heat press and do that. Okay, so we're going to using this swing away. Right now I have it at 378. Right now that's what it's reading, is at 380. For fusing the adhesive on this, you don't have to have it that high, but we're also going to be doing sublimation. That's why we're using 100% polyester, and but you don't have to have it that high. 320 will be good enough to adhere this to the actual fabric. So let me cut a piece of this, and again, this is just to stabilize the material. That way, when we go to apply it or do the actual applique, it doesn't move on me. So like I said, I'm only gonna press it for about maybe 7 seconds, 5 to 7 seconds. That's it. And all I want is just for the material to be on the for the stabilizer to be on the material. And I think I have enough with this, but I'm gonna use another piece just in case. So that's it. That's all we need here. Let's go back and cut this fabric to that way we can sublimate the image on it. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up the laser so we can cut this fabric. Now, if you don't have a laser, don't worry about it. You don't need a laser. I'm just using a laser just to make the video a little fancy. But you do not need a laser. What you can do is just print your image, put them onto the actual fabric, and then cut it with the scissors. And then when you go to the applique, just apply it on top of the actual image. Or you can actually embroider the first placement line on it and then cut around the image. I will show you all of that. And then cut all the way around the image and then just do the applique. But you don't need a laser, okay? I'm just making this video with the laser just to show you how much faster, easier. It's not faster, but it's easier to do it this way. So let me set up this laser. It's gonna get a little loud, you know, with all the stuff in the laser, with the vacuum and all the stuff. You know, the laser gets a little loud. Okay, so right now what I'm doing is I'm actually setting up the laser so we can cut the fabric. If you don't have a laser, don't worry. You do not need a laser, and I will show you how to do it without the laser. But right now I'm setting up the laser, make sure everything fits in there, and we can cut the fabric. And it looks like everything is it's ready to go. Everything fits nice and fine, so we're gonna go ahead and cut it as soon as it's finished tracing. So here you go, everything is set up, ready to go. So now we're gonna cut. There you go, laser is done. And then cut perfect Batman symbols. Okay, so all we gotta do now is pick up our nicely Batman logos, laser cut. And at this point, if I wanted to turn this into a patch, what I do is I add adhesive to the back and then sublimate them, or sublimate them first and then add adhesive to the back, and this will become an actual patch. So, but what we're gonna be doing is gonna be applique, so we don't need to do that. So now let's go back to the heat press, and now we're gonna sublimate this. Okay, so we're back at the heat press. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply this to this logos, and the reason why I laser cut them is because this right here is actually cut oversized. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna apply this, as you can see, just like that, just so it's inside the actual logo. And we're gonna use some heat tape just to kind of hold it in place. And again, if you don't have a laser, you don't need a laser for this step. If you cannot sublimate, don't worry. You can actually buy fabric and then just cut it the same what do you call it, shape, or the shape that you want. It don't have to be a Batman logo. It can be any logo. But I'm just showing you this way because, well, just because. So just like that. So now when I flip it over, my Batman logo is gonna stay in place, so I don't lose it. Okay, so for better results on sublimation, preheat your pan. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some butcher paper, and this is just to protect my press. We're gonna lay our patches down, making sure that they stay in place. And I'm gonna sublimate at 380 degrees for 55 seconds. So there you go, this is done. And the reason why I put that piece of paper down is because you see the excess sublimation is gonna go right through it. I don't want that on my press. So this paper right here, the reason why you see the logo not coming off is because this paper, the paper that I'm using, is actually adhesive paper. It's got heat activated adhesive. So that's why you see that my sublimated patch is still there, like that. So there you go. So final product is very rigid. It does not stretch because we put the adhesive, I'm sorry, the what do you call it, the backing or stabilizer, whichever way you want to call it, stabilizer or backing is correct, again, whichever way you want to call it. But there you go, that's our final product. Now at this point, if you wanted to create a patch, what you do is you take some adhesive and apply it to here, and that adhesive is also done with the heat press. That, if you guys want to know what adhesive that is, it's called heat and bond. So you can apply it to the back and you're ready to go. So now let's go ahead and go into the embroidery machine so we can apply this to the hoodie. Okay, so now we have to get the hoodie prep for the actual embroidery, or for the applique part of the video. And for that, I'm gonna use two tearaway backing. Again, backing or stabilizer, whichever way you want to call it. Just like so. We're gonna take our hoodie, run it over. Now by using these hooping stations, it guarantees, not guarantees, but it assures, kind of the same, right? It kind of helps you align everything nice and neat. So that's the good thing about using these stations, these hooping stations. Now with that in place, now we take this right here. Now if you, at this point, if you have any chalk, you can take your logo, place it exactly where you want it, and then mark it with the chalk. That way you can bring the machine and place it exactly where you want it. In this case, I'm not too worried about that. This is not a paying customer. Just like that. Here you go. And then now we can take it over to the embroidery machine. We're gonna select the job that we want. There you go, Batman. Okay, so right now, because I didn't mark this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place the logo. Okay, so once we place the logo not exactly, but roughly where I want it, I'm gonna do a trace. So now that we have everything ready to go, what we're gonna do is just start the machine, and what the machine is gonna do a line, what we call a placement line, and that's where we're gonna put our logo. Okay, so remember when I said if you don't have a laser, you don't need a laser? This is the part where if you don't have a laser, that line right there, what that line represents right there is exactly what the machine is going to embroider. So if you didn't have a laser, you can take just a piece of square, a piece of fabric, put it in there, and then once the machine does that placement line, you take a scissors, something like this. See, the scissors have a curve to it. You can't even see it, can you? Kind of see it. And then just cut all the way around of the fabric, as the fabric would have been already there. And then once you do that, you already have the shape in there. And that's, again, that's applique. Okay, so once the placement line is done by the machine, one of the things that you can do, you can put a little bit of adhesive on it on the back of the logo. That way it doesn't move on you. It'll still kind of move a little bit, but not that much. But if you wanna hold it in place, you know, so the machine doesn't move it, add a little bit of adhesive. You know, just spray some adhesive, and it'll just stay in place just for a little bit. Okay, so once the machine is done, just remove the hoop. Then we gotta cut the stabilizer. So the reason why I use tearaway is because we can just, you know, just pull it and it just tears away, kind of like what the, you know, hence the name, tearaway. Then I'm gonna remove the one on the inside, and that's all you're gonna see on the inside. Is it's gonna be that outline. There you go. That's the finished product. Okay, so there's disadvantages and there's advantages of cutting it with the laser when you're cutting your, in this case, your patch so precise. One of the disadvantages is that if you miss your outline, in this case, I mean, I didn't miss anything, but if you miss it, like say for example, your patch moves a little bit, then you're gonna see the garment. And on this one, I mean, it's everything is so precise, it just lands on perfectly. That's the disadvantage. That if it happens to move a little bit, or say for example your measurements was wrong, like this one for example is exactly 10 inches. Say for example I did something right and it went to like 10 inches and a quarter, right? Or 10 and 1/8. Then now my outline is not going to fit, or you're going to be able to see the patch or parts of the garment. Now, if you use a piece of square, like for example, like I was saying, when you do the placement line and then you cut with the scissors, there's also a disadvantage on that one, because if you don't cut it right, whenever the machine comes and do the border all the way around, there's going to be pieces of the fabric sticking out. Also, in parts like this, where you see that so close right there, you can see how small that is. Depending on what kind of scissors you're using, you're not going to be able to get in there and cut it, you know, nice and clean. So again, there's advantages and disadvantages of doing it so precise versus cutting it with the scissors. So let me show you what the actual garment looks like once my son is wearing it. And that's what the end product looks like. You can see my son is wearing his hoodie already. So that's how you do applique. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you liked it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Again, this is one way of doing applique, you know, by cutting your artwork so precise with the laser. If you don't have a laser, go ahead and check out Com5 Lasers USA, and get your laser. Them things are awesome. If you do decide to get a laser from Com5, make sure you use code liberty01 and they will give you a percentage off. I believe it's like 10% off. I don't get anything, you guys get all the savings. So again, if you're in the market for a laser, make sure you check out Com5 and you saw how well and how precise these things are. Again, that's it for the video. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I will appreciate it if you guys subscribe to the channel and share the video. And ding the bell so you're notified when I upload new videos. If you want to see some other forms of applique, some other stuff being done, some different shapes, give me a comment on the comments below. And then I'll make whatever video if I have time, right? Because I haven't posted a video in like over a month. Thank you guys for watching. It was a pleasure like always, and I will catch you on the next one. God bless you, and I will see you later. Bye bye now.